Hi, my name's Eli. I'm 34, and lately, I don't recognize the sound of my own footsteps. I used to move through rooms like I belonged there. Now, I float around my own house like some polite guest who doesn't want to knock anything over. People think I'm quiet because I'm recovering. Truth is, I don't know what I'd say without breaking something. There's this moment that keeps looping in my head. Something she said. Or maybe the way she didn't say it. Anyway, it's weird how one sentence can make your body hurt more than the actual injury. Hey, before we get any deeper, take a second to get comfortable. Breathe. This one's not easy for me to tell, but I think it might be worth it. If this hits something real for you, drop a like. Maybe subscribe so you don't miss what comes next. And yeah, if you were in my place, what would you have done? Let me know in the comments. The air in the house always felt colder after noon. Not physically colder, just quiet in a way that pressed down on your skin. The baby monitor in the corner blinked every so often like a lazy heartbeat. River was napping upstairs. Savannah was in her usual position, earbuds in, two tabs open on her laptop, typing with the controlled rage of someone answering emails she didn't want to receive. Eli sat on the edge of the leather couch, hands braced on his knees. The sunlight through the floor-to-ceiling windows hit just enough of his side to make the scars on his back itch. He hated that, sunlight feeling like a threat. Another thing that changed. He watched his reflection in the black glass of the TV screen. Slouched, asymmetric, slower. One leg moved with thought. The other moved with effort. Savannah hadn't said anything about the new brace yet. Maybe she didn't notice. Maybe she did. He reached for the mug on the table. Cold coffee. Second time today. Hey, he said quietly, testing if her earbuds were really in. No answer. She hadn't looked up in over an hour. The corner of her screen flickered with a video call invite. Her lips curved up. Just for a second. He looked away. Downstairs, the kitchen still held the burnt smell from this morning's toast. Upstairs, the child who didn't know the word accident, yet was dreaming beneath a ceiling painted with stars. A year ago, this house sounded like music, coffee being poured, shoes thumping against stairs, laughter from nowhere. Now it was all blankets over glass, muffled, soft, waiting. He shifted on the couch, pain tracing its usual path up his spine. He was getting used to it. Pain that felt like it didn't come from the injury anymore, but from memory. That's what no one tells you. The hurt stays in the places you love the most. The hallway creaked. Savannah stood, stretched without looking at him, and disappeared into the bedroom. Her phone buzzed once on the table. He glanced at the name. Then again. It wasn't anyone he recognized. The backyard smelled like rosemary and ambition. Savannah's dinner parties were never just dinners. They were stage plays with wine pairings. Tonight's guests were her people, polished, high-performing, performatively casual. A circle of sleek professionals laughing over stories they already knew the punchlines to. Eli sat in a deep patio chair, ankles crossed carefully, his plate untouched. Someone had handed him a glass of red he couldn't drink with his meds. He just held it, like a prop. Savannah stood near the fire pit, her silhouette backlit by string lights and effortless charm. She was telling a story. He knew this story. He lived it with her. And now he was hearing it again, but rewritten. So I'm juggling a newborn, Zoom calls, and a husband on house arrest, she said with a bright laugh. But at least I'm getting really good at carrying both the baby and the marriage. Laughter. Someone muttered, supermom energy, and a few nodded too enthusiastically. Eli forced a smile and looked down at the glass. His hand was trembling. He hoped no one saw. That joke, it landed too cleanly. Practiced. She'd used that line before. When the party thinned out, Eli wheeled himself quietly into the kitchen. The clink of dishes grounded him. Something about rinsing plates felt real. Not heroic, not tragic. just necessary. Savannah appeared in the doorway, barefoot now, dress softening at the seams. You okay? She asked without much weight. Sure, he said. You were funny tonight. She misread his tone on purpose. Oh, come on. People laughed. It's not about you. I know. Pause. It kind of is, though. She exhaled. Not a sigh, just a controlled release of breath. You used to love it when I joked about stuff. Stuff, yeah? Not this. Eli, she said carefully, like she was trying to win a negotiation. I'm trying. It's hard for me, too. I didn't say it wasn't. A moment. Then she pulled out a plate from the cabinet. Too hard. Something chipped. She muttered, I'm just tired. He nodded. He didn't say, I'm tired too, and I'm the one who can't feel half his body. Later that night, while folding a blanket in the living room, he found the hotel receipt tucked between pages of an open notebook. The name at the top, Dallas Marriott. Date, last month. 2 entrees. 1 dessert. Red wine. He stared at it like it might explain itself. Savannah walked past, brushing crumbs from her shirt. Conference went well? He asked, too gently. She paused. Smiled. Busy, but yeah. He smiled back. A little too still. Then tossed the receipt in the trash. The gym smelled like chalk dust, rubber mats, and some primal kind of sweat that belonged to better days. Eli hated it immediately. He sat at the edge of a bench, shoulders tense, hands gripping the wheels of his chair like they might roll him out of this moment. Across from him, Austin was tossing a medicine ball from hand to hand like it owed him rent. You look like you'd rather be hit by a truck, Austin said. I kind of was, Eli muttered. Austin cracked a grin. You used to talk crap better than this. Eli didn't answer. The hum of resistance machines, grunts, clanging plates, none of it sounded like it was meant for him anymore. He wasn't here to train. He was here to prove he still belonged in rooms with mirrors. Austin clapped his hands. All right, let's try standing transfers. Just once. Eli's jaw tensed. It's not a confidence thing. It's physics. Then let's mess with gravity. 10 minutes later, Eli had managed to hoist himself from chair to bench with Austin spotting him. His arms burned. His pride didn't. He wasn't proud yet. You think Savannah knows you're doing this? Austin asked, tossing him a towel. Eli shook his head. She says I should focus on healing. Whatever that means. Austin's face twitched, barely a frown. Yeah, you were healing when you changed my flat tire in the rain last winter. Remember that? That was before. Austin leaned in, elbows on his knees. Nah, that was you. After the session, Eli sat in the locker room alone. The fluorescent lights flickered like they couldn't decide whether to reveal or forgive him. His phone buzzed. A DM from Tia Solano. Saw you in Austin's story. Looking strong. Didn't know you were training again. He paused. Just getting my arms to carry the rest of me. She responded fast. Don't downplay it. You look like someone who's about to surprise himself. He stared at her words. Something about them landed clean, like breath after choking. That night, he opened the Notes app and typed 4 words. Don't forget this feeling. Then paused, and wrote more than he'd written in months. Savannah left on a Thursday. Conference in Chicago. 3 nights. She kissed River's forehead, not Eli's. Her suitcase had wheels that rolled too smoothly over the tile. By evening, the house felt abandoned, not empty. Eli microwaved leftovers, then didn't eat them. He wandered the rooms like he was checking for something lost but unnamed. The silence wasn't peaceful. It felt like the second before a siren. He sat on the edge of their bed, stared at the floor, then reached for the tablet on the nightstand. He just wanted to stream something. Something loud. Something fake. But the screen opened to an image gallery. No password. Just there. First, a hotel room. Stylish. Generic. A woman's shoulder in the mirror. Then another. Savannah, robe slipping, holding a glass of wine. She was smiling at someone outside the frame. A real smile, the kind she didn't use at home anymore. Then screenshots. Messages. He sleeps like a statue. I swear I can hear his thoughts rusting. Sometimes I forget he's in the room. I need someone who moves. The name above the messages, Romaine R. Romaine. Her boss. Eli didn't move for several minutes. Not out of shock, out of something colder. Recognition. Like his body had already suspected, and now his mind was catching up. He closed the tablet. Not angrily. Carefully. Went to the mirror. Pulled off his shirt. Looked at the web of surgical scars, the lean muscle above the brace, the places that refused to listen to him. He touched his chest, just below the collarbone. The skin there still responded. A reminder, you're not gone. Downstairs, the baby monitor blinked once. He didn't look at it. Instead, he grabbed a jacket, keys, wallet, left his phone on the table, screen side down. The door clicked shut with the gentleness of someone who didn't want to wake what little life was left. He didn't know where he was going, just that it had to be away from where he was. The gym was closed, but Austin left the back door unlocked, like he knew. The place was different at night. No clanging metal, just the low hum of vending machines and the distant creak of an old treadmill shifting in its sleep. Eli sat on a yoga mat, back against the wall, jacket folded beneath him. His body ached in the quiet places, hips, ribs, the scar behind his left knee. But the worst pain was somewhere unspecific, a place no brace reached. Austin didn't ask questions when he showed up, just tossed him a water bottle, then sat across the room like a guard dog who wouldn't push. You done running? He finally asked. I wasn't running, Eli said. Austin raised a brow. You left your phone. Eli looked down. I was leaving the noise. A long pause. She cheating? Austin asked, like asking if it rained last night. Eli nodded once. Austin cracked his knuckles. You want a name? No. Austin tilted his head. You want to fight? No. You want her back? This one took longer. Eli finally said, I want to not care. Austin leaned forward, elbows on knees. You do care. That's why you're here and not wrecking her car. Eli gave a tired half laugh. That, and I can't run fast anymore. Austin nodded, serious. You can still aim. That's something. They sat in silence. Comfortable, masculine, heavy silence. No tears. No breakdown. Just two men, one broken body, two broken hearts, and some fluorescent lights buzzing like background static. By sunrise, Eli had made a decision. Not about her. About himself. When he got home, the house was still asleep. River's stuffed lion had fallen from the crib. Eli picked it up gently, fixed its position beside her, and stood there for a moment, watching. Then he went downstairs, opened his laptop, hit record. The lighting was bad. His hair a mess. His voice uncertain at first. But it came out. This isn't a rehab story. It's not a miracle video. It's just me, trying not to disappear. He talked for 4 minutes. Paused. Then added, if you feel invisible too, maybe we don't have to be. He didn't edit the footage. Just uploaded it. Tia messaged him 2 hours later. You just punched the internet in the gut. Proud of you. By evening, the video had over 30,000 views. Comments poured in. Didn't know I needed to hear this today. My brother lost his leg in Iraq and stopped talking. Sending him this. Thank you for showing up. Even broken. Especially broken. Eli didn't smile, but something loosened in his chest. The stage was small. No spotlight. Just overhead fluorescence and a wireless mic that fed into a slightly fuzzy speaker. Folding chairs, coffee in paper cups, and rows of people who had seen more than they ever said. Eli sat up straight in his wheelchair. Hands steady. Shirt ironed. Hair cut. Tia had insisted. He scanned the room. Therapists, caregivers, veterans, Teachers, kids with oversized hoodies and hidden injuries. Not one face he recognized. And yet, he felt seen. A woman introduced him with 3 lines. Eli Maynard. Husband. Father. Not motivational. Just real. He rolled forward. Microphone clicked. I used to think silence was strength. That if I just waited long enough, the pain would shrink to fit the room I was in. A pause. Eyes locked. It didn't. He told them about the hospital bed. The stairs. "You're so brave," comments that landed like knives. He talked about River's first steps and how he didn't witness them because he couldn't even get off the couch that day. About the marriage that dissolved, not in a fight, but in passive disinterest. "I thought she left because I couldn't walk. But now I think she left because I stopped asking her to see me." No gasps. Just stillness. He took a breath. "I'm not here to teach anything. I'm just here. And if you're still showing up too, then maybe we're not broken. Just rewired." Silence. Then one clap. Then many. A slow, standing ovation. Not polite. Not explosive. Just real. Afterward, while packing up, a woman approached with a cautious smile. "My son's 17. He stopped speaking after his accident. I showed him your video. He wrote a sentence yesterday." Eli blinked hard. "What did he write?" She held up her phone. He wrote, "I feel possible." In the hallway, Tia waited, camera bag slung over her shoulder. "You were loud today," she said, grinning. "I didn't shout. You didn't have to." As they left, Eli caught a glimpse of a poster taped to the wall. "Visibility is the opposite of shame." He nodded once, more to himself than anyone else. Outside, the wind smelled like wood smoke and cold iron. Clean. Sharp. New. Savannah found out about the speech through a reposted Instagram reel. It was Tia's angle, wide, well-lit, edited with intention. Eli's voice came through clear, his face calm. No bitterness. No names. Just truth, sharpened to a point. The comments hit harder than the words. He deserves someone who sees him. How do you walk away from a man like that? She slammed her laptop shut. The next morning, she messaged him. "We need to talk." He agreed. Neutral ground. A cafe near the edge of town. Glass walls. Clean wood tables. Indie music in the background. The kind of place where people pretend to reconnect. Eli arrived 10 minutes early. Savannah came 10 minutes late. She looked the same, maybe a little sharper around the eyes. "I watched the video," she said, settling in without greeting. "It was powerful." "Wasn't meant to be," Eli said. "Just honest." She stirred her coffee like it needed time to answer for her. "I didn't plan to hurt you," she offered. "I know. You changed. So did you." A quiet descended. Not tense. Just tired. "I was scared," she admitted. "I felt like I was living with someone I couldn't reach. Like we were in the same room, but miles apart. And instead of building a bridge, you left." She flinched. "You don't think I tried?" "I think you stopped seeing me when I stopped being easy to look at." Her eyes welled, but no tears fell. She blinked them back like shame she refused to wear. "I didn't know how to carry it." "You didn't have to carry me," he said softly. "Just not drop me." That broke something. She nodded. Just once. Then reached into her bag. "I filed for separation. Officially. No lawyers." Eli glanced at the envelope. "Okay." She stood. "I'll pack the rest of my things next week." "Take your time." She hesitated. "You're different now." "I know," he said. "So are you." Then she left. Outside, dusk smeared gold across the sidewalk. Eli stepped into it. Tia sat in the car across the lot, window half down. He opened the door, slid in. She didn't ask. Just reached over and touched his shoulder. No pressure, no rescue. The light turned green as they pulled away. In the side mirror, the cafe glowed like a fading ember behind them. A year later, the classroom smelled like markers and sneakers, and too many secrets pressed into cheap plastic chairs. Eli rolled into the middle of the circle, flanked by posters drawn in thick Sharpie. You matter. Speak loud, even if it shakes. No one gets left behind. The kids were silent, not because they were polite, but because they were waiting to see what kind of broken adult they were getting this time. Eli smiled, gently, not heroically. I'm not here to give a speech, he began. And I'm definitely not here to fix anything. They kept staring. I'm just here because someone once looked me in the face and didn't flinch. And that changed things. He paused, waited. Then he did something that surprised even him. He wheeled back slightly, turned off the mic, and just talked. They asked about the accident, about his daughter, about the pain. He didn't dramatize it. He told them the truth in pieces small enough to carry. One boy, quiet, hoodie pulled so low you couldn't see his eyebrows, spoke up. My dad hasn't left the house in 5 months. He won't talk to me. I tried everything. Eli nodded. You trying is everything. Afterward, the boy slipped him a folded note. I showed him your video. He didn't say anything, but he sat up straighter. Eli kept that note. Later that day, Tia met him in the parking lot. Camera bag on her hip, eyes squinting in the afternoon sun. Every time you do this, she said, I start crying in my car. He smiled. You're getting soft. You're getting loud. She shot back, then leaned in to kiss his cheek. And it suits you. Back at their apartment, River ran into the living room in mismatched socks and glitter-stained overalls. Eli, I made you something. He knelt, slowly, but on his own. She handed him a drawing. 3 stick figures. One with wheels. One with curly hair. One small and smiling. Underneath, she'd written, us. He swallowed hard. Is that me? He asked, pointing to the wheels. No, silly. That's you before. Before what? She shrugged. Before now. That night, he posted a new video. No music. No cuts. Just his face. This isn't a comeback. I'm not who I was, and I'm not trying to be. He looked straight into the camera. I'm just finally okay being who I am. Not again. Different. The comments rolled in. Different looks good on you. Thank you for not pretending. Maybe there's hope for the rest of us. Eli didn't reply. He just closed the laptop and sat there, breathing in the soft noise of a life rebuilt. Not from scratch, but from something deeper. Something real.